following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman, downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board meeting, September 22nd, 2020.
I will turn it over to Caroline.
Okay, I think we're waiting for Mackenzie because.
Mackenzie's here in the office.
Great, all righty. Well, thank you all, and I'm sorry for the delay. Hello, everyone. Just like to call this meeting to order, September 22nd, 2020. The time is 4:03. It's the White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board regular meeting. Would Ian, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You were on mute, Carl, but good thing I knew the words. Okay, so the first thing that we have is public comment. And so I will mute myself, and then Kyle, if you can unmute yourself so I can hear.
Okay. And I've asked the people making public comment to come up to the laptop so you all can see and hear them.
Is this close enough?
Sure.
Okay. You may want to turn her speakers up a little bit. When she's talking, I can't hear clearly.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, on your agenda item 2.6, you're to review a sketch regarding updates on Chamber 3-year plan regarding the sculpture park. I'd like to know who submitted the sketch. Is it the same individual that did the redesign of the convention center parking lot? The submitted sketch is not very informative. I want to know if it was done by a licensed person or a firm. I want to remind you the board cannot spend tax dollars on private property. Madam Chairman, on your agenda item, Roman numeral 2.4, you consider ratifying bills. There's nothing in the packet for a member of the public to review. When I made out my request for a meeting packet, I requested a copy of everything that was to be presented before the board, and that includes bills. I've yet to receive any bills whatsoever. Madam Chairman, the new parking lot for the convention center appears to be close to completion. The center walkway has not been put back in. It does not meet minimum ADA requirements for the handicap. They're being forced into the street, which could be hazardous, especially for those in a wheelchair. This is new construction, and it is mandated to meet minimum federal ADA standards requirements. I've told you of the need more than once. You can't accept that as it is. One of the lights involved in the renovation on the corner of 7th Alliance was installed on private property. That cannot be done. It needs to be corrected. You're required to stay on city easement only. Pedestrian stripes were painted on one corner of the lot, but not on the other. Are we through with the project? I don't know. We need to find out. I want to know who designed the fiasco, who approved it, and who's inspected it. I presented before the board a question on regard to the Silver State Motel having a state business license, city license, the room tax license. Vehicles still parked there. I've not gotten any feedback yet. Madam Chairman, the money that was given to the community choir for pigeon control needs to come back to this board. I've not seen anything to that effect. NRS forbids you from assisting a private business. They were not a 501c at the time they applied. They misled you. Failure to properly disclose or apply under false pretenses is a violation of law. They do not even meet minimum ADA requirements, standards for the handicapped to enter that facility. The building is not a public building. A sign posted on the building in front stated, no soliciting, no loitering, no skateboarding, and last but not least, private property. I've been told they rent the basement to the tumblebugs. Again, does the building basement have a second fire exit? Does the community choir have a state business license, a city license, or any other license? I want to caution you folks about giving money to a private entity. You can't do that.
That's 3 minutes, thank you, George.
I need some answers.
Any more public comment?
Yeah, Wayne Cameron, Chamber of Commerce. At your last meeting, there was this discussion about the chamber dues. And I'm hoping when you get down under old business on discussion only, the board member reports, whoever's over that would report on that. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Thank you. Let's go ahead with item Roman numeral 2, new business, discussion and for possible action, approval of the agenda, including removal of agenda items. Do I hear a motion for approval of the agenda as is?
Move to approve.
Ian moves to approve.
I'll second the
A
motion.
second?
Marietta,
Thank you.
second.
Ian's moved and Marietta seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Number 2, discussion and for possible action and approval of the minutes from August 25th, 2020, 4 o'clock meeting. Do we have any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, I'd like to hear a motion to approve.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the August 25th, 2020, 4 p.m. meeting minutes as presented.
A second?
I'll second.
Kurt,
Thank you.
second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor for the approval of the minutes,
Aye.
please signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Thank you, motion carries. Number 3, discussion and review of the financial report. And I'll mute myself, okay?
Okay, thanks. All right, so we're gonna start with this document right here, which is the room tax collection for the individual properties. If you look down at the tax collected column for the hotels, motels, there was $182,832.60. For the RV parks and campgrounds, it was $14,375.26 for a total of $197,207.86 of total room tax collected for the month of August. How that breaks down is that the railroad received a contribution of $29,215.98. The city of Ely received $31,928.05, and the golf course received $5,510.31. And we did follow up with Jennifer Lee and create the form and the document to send to the city with our room tax collection that just kind of keeps a running tally of the city's contribution. We're doing it for everybody now that gets room tax, just so that they know kind of what the contribution is. The next document would be the comparison, year-to-year comparison from last year. And when you guys look at that, it's actually only down 0.8%. And so in spite of not being able to have our largest event of the year, the horse races, our room tax was still supplemented by the contractors and all the new people that were coming into town. So silver lining, we would have loved to have the events happen, particularly the horse races. It would have been, a banner year, but to practically break even from where we were this time last year is, I think, a pretty good run. And I can just wait for next year when we do have all of our events and all these new people. There's a new report, the one that we went over last month. Kurt, it's this one here. And so what Nicole took the initiative and had been keeping track of the running tally for all of the lodging properties. And so what you see here, and again, we're not going to go over this every month, but what the board can see is just the trends of which properties are doing well, which months are lean, and we can kind of start seeing where the gaps in the schedule are. But it's a nice month running tally of each individual property and then how much has been brought in, as well as the contributions out to the to the different people that get room tax allocated to them. The final document that I'll go over will be the year-to-date budget. And if you look down at the bottom, you can see that we are operating with a $46,841.04 surplus. And so still kind of been, tight with the money, just not knowing what's gonna happen in the wintertime. But you'll look down and see, Jeff's been here all week, so we've been going over this. You'll see there's, only the dues and subscriptions is the one that has gone over 100, but we pay that in the beginning of the year, so that hasn't changed since the beginning of fiscal. And in building maintenance and repair, you can see that we're up to 91%. But other than that, we're still looking very good for the amount that we're spending versus the amount that we're bringing in. Is there any questions on any of those documents?
Kyle, just compliments on that expanded with the month to month, that's tremendous. If she could add a header and a footer on there or something like that, just so that we know what the document's called and we all know what to say thank you for.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's wonderful, and I'd like to compliment because we could be in a lot bigger hole as far as our room, the lodging, and we do know that our contractors can only bunk up one person to a room, which has been really helpful for us, but not for them. But we're just really lucky we have so much construction going on.
We are.
We have it all year.
No, in my forecast, looking at kind of what's been going on in September, I think September is going to be a good month. And with Bike Magazine being out in October, I mean, as long as it doesn't get really snowy and nasty, I think October is going to be a pretty hot month for us as well for room tax. So I'm positive, for the next couple months. So.
That's fantastic, but I don't know if you've talked to Sherry Bombard at Travel Nevada or if any of your other colleagues, what the difference is on their lodging last year to this year.
We're very lucky to be where we are as a community.
Yes, so thank you very much, and it's very understandable, so thank you.
I'd like to add some comments, Madam Chairman. Thank you, Kyle, for Nicole doing this excellent report. This is even more than what I had anticipated that we would have. It helps everyone that's the recipient of the funds understand where they are month to month, plus the cumulative total. It's great. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Ian, do you have anything on the financials?
Nope.
You're on mute, Kyle, so I assume, and so is Ian, so I assume no.
No, we're good, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then item number 4, discussion and for possible action to ratify bills. And if we look at the list of payables, and that would be on marked as item number 4. And again, I have an interest in Bath Lumber, so that one will be pulled aside. And any discussion on those, any questions? I went over them this morning and they look great. It was a very good organization job, and any questions, or just about all of them, and Nicole answered, so I sure appreciate it. So if there's no discussion on that, could I hear a motion for approval of the bills?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay checks 10000 through 10042 minus check 10016 in the amount of $139,703.86.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, Ian
Great.
seconds.
Been a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. I believe there are just the 3 members of us this month, is that correct? Is,
Kurt's
is
here.
Kurt on the
We
line?
have everybody but Brian.
So Kurt's on the line.
Yeah, he's here in the office, or in the conference room.
Oh, hi there. Okay, well, the
Hi.
reason I was asking is because for number 5, we needed to have 3 board members, so I just wanted, before I go ahead and announce that. So that's a discussion and possible action to pay Bath Lumber. And again, I have an interest in that. I will be abstaining. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay check number 10016 to Beth Lumber in the amount of $138.14.
Thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please
Aye.
indicate by saying aye.
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 Any nays? And again, I will abstain. Thank you. Okay, number 6, discussion and for possible action, update on Chamber 3-year plan regarding the sculpture park. And I want to compliment Wayne and working with Economy Drug and I assume the Renaissance and Kyle for working on this plan, and perhaps Jen has been involved, but thank you for being proactive on it. So Kyle, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, so we're gonna go over this document here. I was proud of it until George's public comment. It was me, the engineering firm of Kyle and Kyle, that
Those K&W.
spec this one out. But essentially what we needed to do was Jinda was gonna be leaving town, and we needed to have a meeting with her that kind of illustrated what Wayne and I and Andy and April and everybody had talked about in regards to what they wanted to see the Christmas decorations look like in Sculpture Park. So with that said, what we had come up with is creating and defining a space by using larger than life features to create, you know, this magical Christmas destination that would promote families coming down and taking pictures and interacting and hanging out. So one of the things that we recognized is, you know, when we do the Christmas tree lighting, everybody's down there, but then after that happens, there's not a whole lot of activity down there. And we wanted it to be truly a destination and kind of a head turner when people were coming through town, that they couldn't just resist, but stop and get out of the car. So if you look at the design, the drawing right here, what we have is we've got 8 to 10 foot tall pinstriped pillars that are defining the space. That's these dots right here. We would end up having to create those ourselves and secure those down, but with Jinda's help, we talked about hanging a garland up through the top, and so that's all these dotted lines right here. So the garland, instead of creating a fence being down low, it'll be up high. You'll end up walking underneath of them. The tree, of course, would sit right there in the middle, and what we were talking about was raising it up higher by building a box underneath of it. We were looking for an extension to make the tree taller, but what it looks like we're gonna end up doing is creating a box and setting the tree on top of it, making it look like a Christmas present so that it gets it up higher. Jinda has something like 25 white LED snowflakes that we will be purchasing to put on the tree and to hang from different sculptures and stuff like that. So you'll have the lights, the white of the snowflakes, and the snowflakes will kind of carry over the theme into the sculptures and stuff like that. The grand entryway, and this is the part that'll probably end up having to be phased, is right here. So this is the main corner. You've got Economy Drug on this side over here. What we want to do is they have 10 to 12 foot tall light up nutcrackers, and so they will stand sentinel on each side of an arch, and so it'll create this grand entryway with the tree right there and then the sculptures in the background. So I feel like that'll be a really nice kind of entry into the park, but it's certainly you'll be able to enter in from the side underneath the garlands and stuff like that. The thing that we thought was going to be kind of phase 3, but it turns out it looks like it might even be phase 1, is this area right here. And so this is the corner where the snow cone thing usually goes in the summertime. And so it's kind of dead space right now as it goes. So we were talking about doing a facade, like a Western Santa's Village, you know, something that kind of looked like old shops and stuff like that. Well, it turns out Jinda has Santa's Village stuff already made. And it was in one of the casinos in Reno, and they're not going to be using it this year. So it looks like we're gonna be getting that. And it's an actual Santa's workshop that the kids can walk into, and there's a chair where they can sit down, and it'll be a really cool photo area and hangout area. And then we're looking at getting a couple little light up trees to kind of hit the perimeter of it. So we had talked about trying to keep it at $5,000 worth of Christmas decorations to go ahead and help in between. Some of the stuff that we're gonna end up having to make on our own, and some of the stuff that Jinda already has, and she's like ready to drive it up here, I think we'll go ahead and meet our $5,000 mark. And that will essentially define the space, raise the tree up, and create a picture area. And then in the additional phases, getting the arches and the nutcrackers, unless we come into some money. And then also doing professional LED color changing lights. And this is where we've been working with the Renaissance Village in the sculpture. So it's not on the ground where they can be kicked and like just illuminating the sculpture. It would actually be lights in the recesses of the sculpture and illuminating and backlighting some of those shoots and different things like that. So that's kind of the master plan. And again, I kind of came up with this one doing a flyover of Google Maps Street View for the dimensions and everything like that. So it was definitely kind of a quick pinch, but needed to visualize so Jinda knew what kind of crazy ideas we were talking about, and she liked it. So she's working on that, and we already have a couple of snowflakes here in the office for the tree. So that is the update on the Christmas decorations at Sculpture Park.
Well, thank you. Any board members have any comments or any comments from the public with this plan? I think it looked wonderful, Kyle, so.
Thanks. I don't claim to be an artist.
Yeah, I think it looks great
Any
too.
comment?
I just have one question. I think it looks great and it's gonna be spectacular, but how are we gonna get the tree up here with the NDF crews gone?
I didn't hear you.
How are we gonna get the tree up with the NDF crews unavailable?
Well, we're hoping that they have an honor camp at the prison out here.
Oh, okay,
They
okay.
do, so it's a working honor camp, and we're hoping we can bring those in and have them work, here on the streets and then on the trees. So we figured 3 to 4 days we'd utilize them.
Perfect, perfect.
So,
Sounds good.
So, we have this in the budget, Kyle, for the 5,000?
We do. We've kind of
Okay.
stockpiled about or budgeted about $5,000 a year for our Christmas decorations. The last 2 years have been focused on the convention center, and I feel like we did pretty good. We've got that looking pretty good right now. So yeah, if we can get the downtown looking sharp, it'll be a good thing.
Is there any comments from the audience or input?
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So we'll go ahead to make a motion, anyone with, as far as following the 3-year plan you've developed with Jinda and Wayne and the economy and the Renaissance Village, Ely Renaissance Society. Can I entertain a motion, please?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, and Ian second, thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. And so thank you for the update and going forward. How long will it take Jinda to get the village here, the workshop and such?
Yeah, she told us pretty much we're under the gun, so she's working on getting it up here as quick as she can. She was even talking about who loading it up on the truck and driving it up here. So
She's been phenomenal.
I tell you, she is great.
She certainly is. So, and it's really nice working with somebody who's so invested in our community. Really appreciate it. Okay, number 7, discussion and for possible action. Update on the finalized strategic plan with the White Pine County Public Museum.
And I truly wish I had more for you on this one, but with all the other stuff that I've had going on, writing down everybody's answers has been pretty labor intensive, and I'm not done with that. I've checked in with Bill Wilson, and I've checked in with Janet just to let him know that I haven't forgot about him and that I am working on it. And so there's really nothing more I can update on that one other than just it is on my list of things to do. And
Well, you're gonna be pretty busy for the next month too, so that
yeah.
could be something in November. So,
I worry
let's
about
be
the
realistic.
time that I'm not busy, that's the scary time.
Yeah, well, November, it'll be a great time if that's okay with the board, because just knowing what you have with Bike Magazine coming up, that's going to be very time consuming, so thank you. We'll just go ahead, number 8, discussion and for possible action, update and completion timeline of White Plain County Draft Facilities Guide.
All right, so that's number
Yeah.
eight right here in your agenda packs. And you can see it's pretty thick amount of papers. So again, the idea of the facilities guide is that yes, we're gonna promote that we have a convention center and all that it offers and you can do, but we have other meeting spaces and parks and facilities that people can rent out for weddings and reunions and business meetings and things like that. So the concept was initially to have a printed piece that we could send out to attract new events, or just when people ask me where can I do things, we would have a piece for them. So this last month Nicole went around. Initially we had a pretty incomplete document because we were saying we weren't getting word back from people. Well, Nicole just went around and just called everybody and went around to all of these places that are on the list and confirmed the contact information, the amount of people, and the assets. So we have sent this off to Jade, and this is going to be one of our main printed pieces that is going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of budget, but it's going to be an evergreen piece that should be able to live for a number of years. And so she's starting the layout process, knowing now how many locations we have, showcasing the park, showcasing all of that. And then what we'll do is we'll go around and take pictures specific for what she's laying out. So where this is at from a board standpoint is just looking through it, seeing if we've left anything out, if we've omitted somebody, because we want to print this one time for a while. It's going to be essential that we don't skip somebody. So this is the most updated version as of last week, and if there's anything we want to add, there's still plenty of time to make adjustments to this.
Thank you. Just a question, what is the asterisk on them, some of them, what does that indicate where others don't have it?
That's a good point, because there's no legend to explain.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'll go ahead and ask Nicole. It looks like these are Ely specific properties, but actually not at all, because the public library doesn't have one. So
Probably something internal to her, since
And-
it's her own working list.
that could be it too. Maybe something that she had reached out to them before, or we had it, and then the ones that weren't asterisks were the ones that have just been updated.
Yeah, there could be people that she's
So,
confirmed info on.
could this be sent out for some groups, like, I'd like the commissioners to see it, the council people to see it, everybody as much as we can to run through it for ideas, because, the little boo-boo I made on the restaurants. And
Right.
so, with next iteration with that part, that one dropped off and we're adding one, but, as complete as I thought it was,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed because I forgot the one. So in addition, maybe Ian has some ideas, and Kurt, because they are city and county representatives of, how they could help us with input.
Would it be cool with you guys if I went ahead and sent this in to be in your next meeting packet and then just showed up for public comment? And I don't even have to be on the agenda, I'll just mention kind of what we're doing.
I think it's a great idea, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I need to come by and be at more of your meetings anyway, so this will be a good thing to do, so.
Thank you, that would be helpful. And then, I don't know, whether some of the organizations or properties, like Bill Calderwood would be a good person in the county also, and, other city county people and such. So, anyway, just because I don't trust myself now, after that one. I should have just looked in the phone book, is what I should have done. All right, I don't believe we need to take any action on this, unless, we're at the draft stage right
Yeah.
now, so.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much on that, thank you to Nicole. Okay, then, item number 9, discussion only, executive director's report. And I'm going to go run and pull mine off the printer. Give me about 10 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Because you,
Well, Errol, you're gonna go when she gets back. I'm gonna let you do the marketing report first, and then we'll tie up all the loose ends with my report.
gotcha. Okay, thank you. Ready when you are.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Errol do the marketing report first. Once he helps Mariette out.